Hello everyone, my name is Sami from ERP Hub, and welcome to this video about the art of crafting stories with data. In today's world, data is all around us, from social media metrics to business reports. Data is the key to understanding our world and making informed decisions. However, data alone can be dry and difficult to comprehend. That's where data storytelling comes in. Data storytelling is the practice of using data, visualizations, and narrative techniques to communicate complex information in a way that is both engaging and easy to understand. By combining data with narrative elements, we can create a story that not only informs, but also inspires action. Whether you're a data analyst, a marketer, or a journalist, mastering the art of crafting stories with data is essential to effectively communicate your message to your audience. In this video, we'll explore the different elements of data storytelling and provide you with some tips and tricks for creating compelling and effective data stories. So if you're interested in learning how to create stories that bring data to life, then you're in the right place. Now let's get started. The first step in crafting a great data story is understanding your audience. Without knowing who you're presenting to, you risk creating a story that misses a mark and fails to resonate with your audience. Understanding your audience is more than just demographics or job titles. It's about understanding their needs, interests, and motivations. So why is it understanding your audience is so important when crafting stories with data? Well, for starters, it allows you to tailor your story to their needs and interests. If you're presenting to executives, for example, they may be more interested in high-level insights in the bottom line. However, if you're presenting to customers, on the other hand, they may be more interested in how the data impacts them directly. Now, there are more different techniques for researching your audience. One of the most common is conducting surveys, interviews, or focus groups. These techniques can help you understand your audience's motivations, goals, and pain points. You can also look at demographic and psychographic data to gain insights into your audience's values and beliefs. This might include data on their age, income, education level, or interest. By combining these different data sources, you can build a more complete picture of your audience and create a story that resonates with them. For example, let's say you're presenting to a group of healthcare professionals about the effectiveness of a new drug. By understanding your audience, you might learn that they're particularly concerned about the drug's side effects and long-term impact on patients. Armed with this information, you can craft a story that addresses these concerns head-on, using data to show the drug's safety's record and long-term effectiveness. Understanding your audience is also important for building trust and credibility. When you show your audience that you understand their needs and concerns, they're more likely to trust you and your message. This is particularly important when presenting complex or controversial data. Ultimately, the key to understanding your audience is to do your research and be empathetic. Put yourself in your audience's shoes and ask yourself, what questions might they have, or what concerns they might raise? By anticipating these questions and concerns, you can create a story that's more persuasive and effective. Gathering and analyzing data is the next crucial step in crafting stories with data. Without quality and relevant data, your story may lack credibility and fail to convey your message effectively. This process involves selecting the right data, evaluating its relevance and reliability, and interpreting it in a way that supports your narrative. One of the key aspects of gathering data is selecting the right data to use. You'll want to consider the story you're trying to tell and the audience you're presenting to. The data you choose should support your narrative and help your audience understand your message. For example, if you're presenting to executives, you'll want to focus on high-level insights that help them make informed decisions. Once you've selected your data, you'll need to evaluate its relevance and reliability. This means looking at the data sources and assessing their credibility. You'll want to ensure that your data is complete, accurate, and up to date. If you're using external data sources, you'll need to be particularly careful to evaluate their reliability and potential biases. Once you have your data, you'll need to interpret it in a way that supports your narrative. This might involve running statistical analysis, creating visualizations, or identifying patterns and trends. The goal is to extract insights from the data that support your narrative and help your audience understand your message. To analyze your data effectively, you'll also need to have a strong understanding of statistical concepts and data analysis techniques. You'll also need to use tools like spreadsheets and data visualization softwares to organize and present your data effectively. Visualizations are an important part of data telling. By presenting data in a visual format, you can help your audience understand complex information and see patterns and trends that might not be immediately apparent. There are many different types of visualizations that you could choose from, such as charts, graphs, and maps. The key is to select the right type of visualization for your data and your narrative. Without the right data, your story may not have enough strength to deliver your message across effectively. By selecting the right data, evaluating its relevance and reliability, and interpreting it in a way that supports your narrative, you can create a story that is both engaging and informative. So take the time to gather and analyze your data carefully. It will make all the difference in your success of your data story. Structuring your story is the next step in crafting and building stories that can impact your business in a positive way. Without a clear structure, your story may lack coherence and fail to engage your audience. A well-structured story not only helps your audience follow along, but also highlights the most important insights and conclusions from your data. One of the key elements of structuring your story is identifying the narrative arc. This involves thinking about the beginning, middle, and end of your story. The beginning should capture your audience's attention and set the stage for your story. The middle should provide the key insights and analysis from your data. In the end should summarize your conclusions and leave your audience with a clear understanding of what they should do next. Another important element of structuring your story is identifying key themes or takeaways. These are the main ideas that you want your audience to take away from your story. By highlighting these themes throughout your story, you can ensure that your audience remains focused and engaged. One useful technique for structuring your story is using a framework like the hero's journey or the problem-solution framework. These frameworks provide a clear narrative structure that can help you organize your data and highlight the most important insights. Again, visualizations are an important part of structuring your story. By using visualizations to support your narrative, you can help your audience understand complex information and see patterns and trends that might not be immediately apparent. Overall, structuring your story is a critical step in crafting effective stories with data. By identifying the narrative arc, key themes, and using visualizations to support your narrative, you can create a story that is both engaging and informative. It's important to structure your story carefully. It will make all the difference in the success of your data story. Remember to think about the beginning, middle, and end of your story and highlight the key insights and themes throughout. By doing so, you'll create a story that is both memorable and impactful. Creating your visualizations using a business intelligence software is the next part of crafting stories with data. Visualizations allow you to present complex information in a way that's easy to understand and engaging for your audience. By using the right visualizations, you can help your audience see patterns and trends in your data and help them understand your message more effectively. The first step in visualizing your data is choosing the right type of visualization. There are many different types of visualizations that you can choose from, including charts, graphs, maps, and infographics. Each type of visualization has its strengths and weaknesses. You'll want to choose the one that best supports your narrative and helps you understand your audience's data. Charts and graphs are perhaps the most common types of visualization. They allow you to present numerical data in a clear and concise way. Bar charts, line charts, and pie charts are also common types of charts and graphs. They can be used to compare datasets, show changes over time, or display proportions. Maps are another powerful visualization tool because they allow you to show geographic data in a visual way. Maps can be used to show distribution patterns, population densities, or the location of key events or landmarks. Keep in mind, infographics are visual representations of information or data that combine graphics, charts, and text to present complex information quickly and clearly. They're often used to communicate complex information in a simplified, easy-to-understand format. Once you've chosen the right type of visualization, it's important to use it effectively. One of the most important aspects of effective visualizations is clarity. Your visualization should be easy to read and understand, even for people who are not familiar with your data. This means using clear labels and axes, avoiding clutter, and choosing colors that are easy to distinguish. Another important aspect of effective visualization is accuracy. Your visualization should accurately represent your data and avoid distorting your data in any way. This means using the appropriate scale, avoiding misleading labeling, and choosing the right type of visualization for your data. Visualizations can also be used to tell a story. By combining different types of visualizations, you can create a narrative that helps your audience understand your message more effectively. For example, you might want to use a line chart to show changes over time, followed by a map to show geographic patterns, and then a bar chart to compare datasets. By choosing the right type of data visualization, using it effectively, and using visualizations to tell your story, you can create a narrative that is both engaging and informative. Remember to focus on clarity and accuracy, and to choose visualizations that support your narrative and help your audience understand your data. Telling your story is the final step in crafting effective stories with data. Your story is the glue that holds your data and visualizations together, and it's what makes your message memorable and impactful. A great data story is one that not only informs, but also inspires action. One of the key elements of telling your story is having a clear and compelling narrative. Your story should have a clear beginning, middle, and end, and it should flow logically and smoothly. You'll want to think about the key insights and themes that you want to convey and how they fit together into a cohesive story. Another important element of telling your story is using language that is accessible and engaging to your audience. You'll want to avoid technical jargon and use language that is easy to understand. This means using clear and concise sentences, avoiding complex sentence structures, and using active voice. Storytelling is also about creating an emotional connection with your audience. By using storytelling techniques like anecdotes, metaphors, and personal stories, you can create a story that resonates with your audience and makes your message more memorable. When telling your story, it's also important to remember that your data and visualizations are there to support your narrative, not the other way around. Your story should be the focus, and your data and visualizations should serve to illustrate and support your message. Finally, it's important to consider the medium through which you'll be telling your story. Whether it's a presentation, a report, or a video, you'll want to tell your story to the medium and the audience. For example, a video might require a more visual and engaging story, while a report might require a more detailed and data-driven approach. In conclusion, telling your story is the final and most important step in crafting effective stories with data. By having a clear and compelling narrative, using accessible and engaging language, creating an emotional connection with your audience, and tailoring your story to the medium and audience, you can create a story that is both informative and inspiring, something that drives them to take action. So take the time to craft your story carefully, and remember that your data and visualizations are there to support your message. Overall, crafting stories with data is a complex and multifaceted process that requires careful attention to detail and a strong understanding of your audience, data, visualization techniques, and storytelling techniques. By combining these elements effectively, you can create stories that are not only informative, but also engaging and inspiring. The art of crafting stories with data involves much more than just presenting numbers and statistics. It requires the ability to weave a narrative that is both compelling and informative. It requires the ability to use visualizations to support your narrative and convey complex information in a way that's easy to understand to regular customers and stakeholders. It requires the ability to understand your audience and tailor your story to their needs and interests. So, if you're interested in mastering the art of crafting stories with data, remember to focus on these 5 steps: understanding your audience, gathering and analyzing your data effectively, structuring your story, visualizing your data, and telling your story in a way that resonates with your audience. With these skills, you'll be able to create stories that are both informative and inspiring, with leaving a lasting impact on your audience. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope you learned something new today. Please leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. For a free consultation, please visit us at erphub.com. We'll see you next time.